Hi, I am a licensed therapist in California, here to give you some tips for dealing with today's political climate. A lot of people in marginalized communities are feeling under attack and scared, and these are just some tips that you can consider thinking about. One is just acknowledging your emotions. I know that seems really simple, but acknowledging your emotions is really important in a time where we're being gaslit a lot by everybody, by a lot of people, by probably half of our population in the United States. And so it's really important to not gaslight yourself. And so even if that's journaling or reaching out to friends or whatever that is, just being honest about how you're feeling. And then set healthy news boundaries, social media boundaries, so that way you can stay informed, but also have some self care because um, it's going to be a long ride here, right? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And so I know we want to hear every little piece of information, and if that makes you feel better, you should do that. Um, but I would argue to perhaps try to, watch a certain amount of time a day, a half hour, hour a day, try to stay up to date, try to look at local news organizations, try to look at organizations that aren't hyping things up or getting your emotions going any more than they're already going just by the information that you're literally seeing on the TV or news. So, another thing is take empowering action. Even small steps can make a big difference. Pick an organization, or a cause and volunteer. Doesn't have to be every day, doesn't have to be every week. There are a lot of places you could drop in, there are a lot of places you can volunteer a couple of hours a week or whatever is within your ability to do. You could donate money. A lot of times even donating $5, if enough people do that, that can make a difference. um, Lean on your community and safe spaces. There are safe spaces in the world right now. It might feel like those safe spaces are being, engulfed with anger and attacking us and all of that stuff, but there are safe spaces, and so to look for those. I know for the LGBTQAI community, there's, centers in a lot of the major cities. If you can't find the support that you're looking for, I would suggest Googling it. Even Google in cities that are more accepting, right? Looking at Los Angeles, the center, or Black Lives Matter in Los Angeles, or in Austin, or whatever. So looking at the cities, because you can get virtual help, through telehealth, through Zoom, through all sorts of resources. So to think about that. Also, prioritize your self care and mental rest. It's really important that we all can make it through this together and to really prioritize that. So, what that means is go garden or take a walk or watch a dumb TV show that doesn't have to do with politics or whatever. Whatever helps you in your mental health, journaling, going to therapy, whatever that is, make sure you're doing those things. And also, please know that you're not alone. 67 million Americans are grieving along with you. Um, there are a lot of people out there that are having a hard time, that are with you, and just to remember you're not alone, because a lot of this has to do with trying to gaslight you so you do feel like you're alone or you do feel like you're crazy, and so don't fall for that. Remember to reach out to friends, to neighbors, to supportive family. Um, who needs support, because you guys can provide a mutual support, even if it's just hanging out, not talking about politics, but maybe it is about, supporting each other and what you're afraid of and being able to vent to each other. Um, One of the last things I'll say is try to not tell people that it's going to be okay, because it might not be okay. A lot of different things have happened in our lifetime, um, with George Floyd, with Matthew Shepard, with all sorts of different people. Those are just the top of the tip of the iceberg, right? But um, it might not be okay, and for some people it might not be okay. And when people are feeling attacked, it's important for them to feel supported. And so it's not to say that you have to be doomsday with them or something like that, but you know, just because that might not be your reality, that might be their reality. Maybe there's a difference in, you know, the pecking order of who's being attacked by politicians and by our communities right now. Maybe it's a matter of you looking at it a different way or having different support, but let's try not to use gaslighting to support our allies. Let's try to support them in whatever feelings they have. Um, so I would really consider, if I were you, getting to therapy. As a therapist, we are trained to help people and not to put our own, spin on it or our own political agenda on it. It's just to be there for you so you can vent, so you can learn ways to think about things a little bit differently. So perhaps it's not so hard. Um, but at the very end of the day, just think about you, what you need, whether it's therapy, whether it's talking to friends, whether it's being, getting involved in activism or whatever it is. And just take care of yourself. Know that there are a lot of supports out there, and just be good to yourself today.